Hello creatives, this is Stephanie from A Design in Between, and today I will be showing you how easy it is to create your very own striped seamless pattern. We will be using Adobe Illustrator today, so if you don't have the program, I will leave a link to download for a free trial. Now let's go ahead and open our Adobe Illustrator program, hit Create New. We will be creating a new document size 12 inches by 12 inches. We will be leaving the color mode at CMYK, which is perfect for printing, and leaving our raster effect at 300 ppi resolution. Hit Create, and now we will have our new artboard. Let's go ahead and show our rulers. Hit Control R or Command R on Macs. These are shortcuts on your keyboard. Tip: learn the shortcuts. It makes it so much easier navigating through Adobe Illustrator. Now let's go ahead and create our first stripe, but we first want to choose our color. Let's go ahead and open the swatches toolbar, which is normally found on the right side. If you hover over these, it'll show you what it is. If you cannot find it here, just go to the top left, hit Window, scroll all the way down until you find the swatches panel, and make sure that it is checked if it isn't. That should make that pop out, and now we can go ahead and choose our colors that Adobe Illustrator has here for us. Let's select the fill and choose any color you'd like. Now let's select the stroke and select none. Hit the fill again. And now let's create our first stripe using the rectangle tool, which will be found on the left side. And it is this little box right here. Right click it and select rectangle, or you can always use the shortcut M on your toolbar. Now let's go ahead and left click on our artboard, and this little toolbox will come up. We want to make sure that each stripe is sized to the width of the artboard. And we can go ahead and adjust the height to whatever height we'd like. So we want to make our stripe 1 inch in height. Hit OK. Now, the rectangle tool might be off-centered. An easy way to center this is by using the Align tool. You can find it on the right side. Again, if it isn't there, go to Window, scroll down, hit Align, and it should pop up. If you hover over these little tools, it'll go ahead and tell you exactly what is what. Now we want to align it and hit vertical top. Perfect. Now that we have our first stripe perfectly centered to the top of the artboard, we're going to go ahead and duplicate this first stripe. Let's go ahead and select it. And on your keyboard, press Shift, Control, M all at the same time. Now the Move toolbox will pop up. We don't want to move it horizontally. We only want to move it vertically. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that the horizontal is set to 0 and the vertical is set to 1. The reason why we're setting the vertical to 1 inch is because the height of the stripe is 1 inch. And you'll go ahead and see what happens here. Now go ahead and select Copy. And now you'll see that you have another stripe. With this second stripe selected, I want you to go ahead and hit Command D. And you will go ahead and see that this is going to repeat endlessly. But we are only going to repeat it to the end of the artboard. Now let's go ahead and select Command D at the same time. And then Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D. Whoops, a little too much. And there you go. Perfect. Now we have the stripes filling the entire artboard. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is select every other stripe all at the same time. So in order to do this, hit Shift on your keyboard, select every other one. Okay, with all of this selected, let's go back to our swatches panel. Make sure you have the fill selected, and now choose whichever color you'd like. Let's go ahead and choose a lime green, and voila, there you go. A striped seamless pattern. Now remember, you always want to make sure that each stripe is the width of the artboard, and the height can always be set to 1 inch, 2 inches, half an inch, whatever your preference may be. But just make sure that this end stripe is opposite to the beginning stripe, because that way when it is repeated, the next color here won't be green, it will be blue. You see? Let's go ahead and save our file. Now go to the top left, hit File, Save As, name it whatever you'd like, and hit Save. Press OK. Now the way I export this for printing, I'll go ahead and show you. Go up to the top left again, hit File, scroll down to Export, hit Export As, and we're going to export this as a PNG. When you're working with artboards, you always want to make sure that this is selected. And if you are working with multiple artboards, you're going to go ahead and select whichever artboard you want. But for this project, we only want artboard 1, so we'll go ahead and leave this at 1 and hit Export. You want to go ahead and make sure that the resolution is always set to 300. And for this background color, it doesn't matter since the whole artboard is filled. So we'll leave that as transparent and hit OK. There you have it, your very own striped seamless pattern created on Adobe Illustrator. If any of you have any further questions or if there's something that you didn't understand, please feel free to message me or email me. I would love to help you out. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Feel free to share away.